Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in today. My name's Tyler. I'm watching a Huns War today between the Viper here in blue, playing as Huns, and Daut, also playing as Huns. That makes it a Hun War. This game is played on Arabia, and it's one of a set of 8 that these guys played in late December 2015. I think it's the best game of the set, for reasons that will become obvious as we go forward. But all in all, these are 2 elite players, and they played a really great set of games. So I wanted to get one of these videos in so that you could experience it as well. We start off the game with Daut complaining about how he lost a villager in the previous match. He had a boar, just like Viper's is here, on the top of a hill. When he went to get that boar, it got 2 hits on him as he's coming down the hill, and thus, with the damage bonus, killed his villager. You can see here this boar is going to get in 9 damage because of a hill bonus. So Daut losing a boar in the previous game really set him back, ended up, leading to him losing the game. So always be careful when your boar is on a hill. And we're going to actually watch this boar lure as well. Why would we be watching a boar lure? Well, maybe you'll find out in just a second. You can see this villager taking a 3rd hit here and not going into the town center, actually dying there. So Viper's going to play this game down 1 villager. I don't know if this is total coincidence or if it's, Viper, because of the little conversation they had, maybe wanting to prove that he can play down a villager as well. I'll let you be the judge of that. But I guess everybody makes mistakes, so maybe that's what it is. We can see that neither player here is actually scouting very much. Really common for these guys, especially in the Dark Age, to be pushing deer. They do this in pretty much every game they play. Makes sense. You have 140 more food that you don't have to spend any wood to get, like you do for a farm. So we can see Viper and Daut just pushing in deer here and not doing any scouting. It's a very standard feudal age build for both of these guys. We'll see a second lumber camp come up for Viper and a second lumber camp come up for Daut. And these guys are basically going to mirror each other for most of this game, except for the fact that Viper will be down 1 villager. We see another deer coming in for Daut. We see another deer coming in for Viper. Nothing too extraordinary here. A very standard build. We can see Daut is up to the feudal age before the Viper is. He's going to have a slight advantage in getting out his feudal army. Viper's still here grabbing deer. Hasn't built a second farm, which is really a nice way to save a lot of wood. And in fact, Daut hasn't built any farms at all. Alright, so Daut's coming up here with the barracks. He's going to be up first. Let's see what he decides to go with. He's going to put 2 villagers down to build a stable. Not uncommon at all. On the other hand, Viper, he'll be up in just a moment, is going to take 2 villagers and build a stable. Okay, very common Huns War strategy. We're going to see some scouts here. That's not exciting. What's exciting is the result of this scout rush. So Daut here walling up sort of the back door to his base. Seems like a very smart move. He's going to take out this wolf and have everything safe. He now has 2 scouts and a spear on the battlefield, whereas Viper has not yet built his scout, and he doesn't yet have a spear out. Viper's still pushing deer, has no view of Daut, but Daut has done some forward scouting, and he has an idea of Viper's side of the map. You can see actually here, he's just about to discover Viper's gold, and sort of do a quick run by here of the town center. Okay, so pretty common start to this game. A relatively fast feudal for both of these guys, and they're both going scouts. We can see Daut here has 3 in play. Viper's got 2. Interesting little scouting move here from Viper. He takes 1 scout and goes to the bottom of the map, 1 to the top of the map, and gets a really full coverage of this map in 1 sweep. If Daut is here, then Viper's going to find him. If Daut's here, Viper's going to find him. We know Daut is actually on the far corner, and those 2 scouts are going to sort of meet at Daut's town center. We can just see Daut here playing a little defensively, holding his scouts behind the TC and waiting for Viper's little push. He doesn't know that Viper's down a villager at this point. I wouldn't imagine he knows. Maybe he scouted out that corpse. We can see Viper here getting in to do a little bit of scouting, and it looks like he's trapped in there, and he's not even going to get a hit in with that scout before losing it. But meanwhile, he's up here harassing Daut. It's 3 scouts for Viper versus what's going to be 5 for Daut. So we'll probably see Viper retreat. He is reinforcing with more scouts. So this is now 5 scouts for Viper and 7 scouts for Daut. And we're just going to see a little bit of a scout war right now. Just for the record, we don't have any upgrades here on either player. We have the 3+2 from the Feudal Age bonus, but other than that, these guys are both, these are very basic scouts. You can see a full-on scout battle going on here. Viper's outnumbered, and I think he's going to eventually run away from it. I wouldn't blame him. He's down to 2 scouts here. He's going to reinforce with a 3rd, and he's got a spear coming over as well. So very, very normal, mundane start to this game. Feudal Age, Scout War. We're probably going to see archery ranges in just a second. Viper with a blacksmith, Daut with an archery range. And this is a really common start to an Arabia Huns War. What's interesting here, though, is that Daut is up a villager, and he's keeping sort of the pressure on. He's going to keep kind of scouting around, seeing what Viper's taking, seeing how many villagers he has here on gold. He could have gone in there to try to pick one off, but it would have been a little bit risky with all these scouts and this spear. And it looks like Viper's going to get a poke in there and take out one of Daut's scouts. But all in all, Daut's in a good place. He's unharassed. He's just back in his own area, putting up a 2nd archery range, poking and prodding around with these scouts in Viper's end. That's going to cause Viper to want to wall up his back door here. You can see Daut retreating. It's 5 versus 6 at this point. But we will see Daut turn around and fight. The reason is now he has bloodlines, so he has 20 extra HP on all of his scouts. Viper does not. So even though Daut's outnumbered, he's got the advantage in that particular case. But nonetheless, it looks like Viper is going to push him out. And we're going to see Daut sort of running off here. So Viper's been down a villager for quite a bit of this game, and we're going to see Daut poking and prodding around here, trying to find a way in. So at this point in the game, Daut has gathered 350 more resources than Viper. They're building villagers at the same rate, but Viper has lost his villager in the Dark Age, and it's been probably 10 minutes of game time since he's been down a villager. So he has 350 less resources. That's going to allow Daut to put a little more pressure on, spend a little more on his army. Actually does look like they have very similar armies here, and will give Daut an advantage going forward. Having that 1 villager for the whole game is going to be a big difference. We can see Daut bringing a spear in here, getting a couple of scouts, chasing Viper off, and now he has a pretty major military advantage. Viper's still not on bloodlines. It doesn't look like he's going to get that in the Feudal Age. So he is at a disadvantage when it comes to any sort of fighting between scouts. Alright, what's interesting here is that Viper's going up with a 3rd archery range. Daut's over here. He's scouted it. You can see that this is now walled off. Interestingly, I don't know if Daut sees this, but interestingly, there is a 4th archery range coming up there for Viper. Daut probably saw it, saw the skeleton of it. That's an interesting move. It looks like Viper's going to go really aggressive with archers. Meanwhile, Daut's going to sort of move around and still trying to find a way into Viper's base. You can see Viper has clicked up to castle. Daut will do that in about 30 seconds. Viper here building another lumber camp. What he doesn't know is that Daut is on the way, or he does know, but those poor villagers just don't. An important thing that Daut does here is he sends this spear along with his scouts. That's going to distract Viper scouts for about an extra 10-15 seconds and even kill one of them, giving Daut plenty of time to harass Viper's villagers on this wood line. You can see Daut's going to get 1 villager there. He's going to get this 2nd here. His scouts are still intact, starting to lose some scouts here on this wood line. Viper's down to 2 out of 5 of those villagers still alive. Daut's still harassing here. Looks like he's going to get cleaned up by that spear and these scouts, but not before taking out a 4th villager. So Daut at this point is slightly behind in Castle Age time, but he's way ahead in villagers. He's taken out 4 himself, and Viper lost 1 in the Dark Age. So Daut is going to be up 5 villagers for most of the rest of the game. Daut now putting up a 3rd archery range. He's got, looks like 9 archers built and ready. Meanwhile, Viper does not have any archers yet. It looks like he's going to wait for Castle before he starts building an army. He's going to start sending villagers back out to replace the ones he lost on that wood line. He's going to chase Daut back across the map here. Daut's going to come forward with these archers and see if he can do some more harassment. By the looks of it, nope, those are going back. So Daut being a little defensive here. This would be a very good time for him to push his advantage, but he probably doesn't know that Viper is not building anything yet. And if we go to Viper's side of the map, now that he's hit Castle, we are going to see 4 archery ranges all building cavalry archers. Viper here at this point in the game has 5 less villagers, but he has 3 more on gold. And that advantage on gold gathering is going to allow him to build 4 archery ranges, cavalry archers, and keep pumping them out. In the meantime, he's going to put down a university. This is a little bit early. You can see Daut does not have a university down. That's going to allow Viper to get ballistics and use his cavalry archers more effectively. You can see Viper here scouting around. Not able to do any harassment with this scout, which is on such low HP, but he does find Daut's gold, and I'm sure he notices how vulnerable that looks beside Daut's base. Problem is, Daut is here with what is now Crossbowmen, and he's ready to take on any force that Viper sends forward. And Viper's going to do just that. He's going to send his first 8 cavalry archers forward. He's now walled up fully his back door and the front door of his base, and it looks like he's actually in a decent spot. Daut is still kind of hanging around waiting, being a little defensive with these crossbowmen. What's of note here is that Daut has many more farms. Almost his entire villager advantage, which is 5 villagers, is dedicated to 1 on wood and 4 more on farms. So Daut gathering a lot more food, and that's going to allow him to keep 2 town centers going at full blast with villagers. Meanwhile, Viper has less of a food economy. He's going to be making 1 villager at a time, and he's going to stay on 1 town center for quite a while. We can see Viper here now with 12 cavalry archers. Daut sort of seems to be waiting to send his archers out, and they're on their way now. Viper's going to take these to the back door of Daut's base. He knows that these palisades are really pretty wimpy. What he's going to discover in just a moment is that there is a town center here. So if we fast forward that for just a second, we can see that Viper comes in, sees the town center, and quickly goes back out. No point in trying to use cavalry archers against a town center. Meanwhile, Daut is up here on the front. He's going to come in with these crossbowmen and try to do some harassment of his own. Little does he know, Viper is still pumping out cavalry archers at full blast. And this is a pretty formidable looking group of cavalry archers. Let's fast forward a little bit and see what Daut decides to do. Looks like he's going to go straight north and head for these palisades and try to break his way in the back door. Meanwhile, Viper's on the front. It's cavalry archers versus cavalry archers there. We can see Viper has a slight advantage in numbers, but Daut is reinforcing as he goes. You can see Viper doing a little bit of running of these cav archers since he knows Daut does not have a university and ballistics up yet. Daut is now putting up that university. Daut here on the front trying to get to this gold, but he's going to be met with a really large force of cav archers here. And Viper continuing to reinforce these 4 at a time. Even if these crossbowmen got through this first line, he's going to be screwed. Again, Viper running around, basically causing Daut to miss lots of his shots since he doesn't have ballistics yet. Viper now putting up a second town center with 1 villager. Daut now has a 3rd TC up. So at this point in the game, Daut has a huge villager advantage still. He's still 5 villagers up. He's using that advantage to build more farms and gather more wood. to build more villagers. Viper, on the other hand, has 1 TC. He is going up with a second, but largely he's put all of his resources into building cavalry archers. And it seems like a smart move. Viper knows he's down 5 villagers. He's not going to out-boom Daut. He's going to try to come in and be offensive. At this point in the game, there is a 1,000 resource gathered difference. The Viper has gathered 1,000 less than Daut. Mostly food is the difference there. However, Daut has in just a moment, at 2830, Daut will have a 16 villager advantage. The reason being that Viper lost 5 villagers, and Daut has had 3 TCs up for quite a while, and he's been building villagers at a faster rate. So Daut is up 16 villagers. That's the good news. The bad news is all of that extra resource that he's gathered has gone into building villagers. So in the end, he has many villagers who are not the greatest fighters, and Viper has much more of an army. We can see Viper here coming forward with a villager, sensing that Daut does have 3 TCs. He wants to keep the pressure on. This makes sense. And we can see he's going to go up with a siege workshop. Meanwhile, Viper here with quite a big force, really harassing Daut, pushing him off of his main gold here. And we can see that Daut is not collecting any other gold at this time. So Daut is going to be forced to make the skirmishers, which are the first sign of desperation. We can see that Daut does have a really good pocket here of villagers and a really good pocket here of villagers who are really safe and not being harassed at all. And he's going to try to boom his way out of this problem. The problem for him is that Viper's going to start coming in with mangonels. He's continuing to send cavalry archers forward. He's building cav archers from 2 of these archery ranges instead of 4. And Viper's also got the 2 TCs up. And he's collecting tons of gold while Daut is collecting none. Daut losing some villagers on the front. Viper here is going to take some damage from these skirmishers, but it's definitely worth it since he's taking out villagers, and these cav archers with bloodlines are relatively robust against skirmishers. Meanwhile, Viper coming in with this mangonel. This is a really nice move. You know, this bunch of skirmishers is going to be really weak to the mangonel. Let's see if he gets a good shot in here. Looks like he does. And does he get a second? That one gets 1. This mangonel's still on nearly full health. And that's a big hit from Viper. So he's pretty much taken out this entire group of skirmishers, which is really Daut's last line of defense. So it looks like this one is going to be pretty much wrapped up. Viper coming in with a ram on the front. Daut with a siege workshop to counter Viper's siege workshop. Daut will throw a market up in just a second to try to get some gold into his economy. We can see Viper here really starting to push in, starting to take out more villagers. Looks like he will lose that mangonel on the front, but he'll replace it with another right away. And just hanging out and harassing Daut's gold. You know, taking lots of damage from skirmishers on these cav archers, but it's all worth it if he can keep Daut off of his gold as much as possible. You can see now that he has a mangonel, he's willing to go back and fight those skirmishers. Daut coming up with a 4th archery range, or a 3rd now, but it's too little too late. There's the good game from Daut, and it is over. The market never made it up. So I wanted to show this game because I thought it was the most interesting to see Viper down 5 villagers going into Castle Age, and Daut really trying to boom up and increase his villager advantage. In the end, it ended up biting him in the butt because Viper had a much larger army. He was able to basically harass Daut, push him off of his gold, and win the match. So that's today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. My name's Tyler. Please let me know if you have any comments on this video or if there's something else that you'd like to see. And until then, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.